Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see the difference between Java and C, C++. Already you have learned the basic language C and you also learned about the components of C programming language. So in with that knowledge, let us compare the keywords and everything between C, C++ and Java. Okay, so now let us see. The first one is the programming paradigm. What does it mean is C and language follows the procedural language. That means there is no object concept involved in C language. It is like a normal step-by-step process that is called as a procedural language. In the case of C++ and Java, they are object-oriented language. That means it contains the components as the collection of classes. Next one is origin based on the assembly language, because C is called as a middle level language. It can be useful to, it is used to write both lower level language, machine level language program as well as the high level language program. So it is based on the assembly language, whereas C++ is based on the C language, and we say that C++ is the enhancement of C, and then Java is based on C and C++. Developer Dennis Ritchie in 1972, and C++ developed by John Stroudstrup in 1979, and James Gosling developed Java in 1991. It is a recently developed language. Translator, so we all know that we need one translator to convert the source code, that is the program what we are writing, into the machine language. For that we need compiler. So here compiler is used in the C and C++, where in Java they are using the interpreted language. It is both compiler and interpreter. Okay. Next one is platform dependency. When you say platform dependent, in the sense C and C++ are platform dependent because it can be executed in any one platform. Whereas in the case of Java, Java is cross dependent. That means it is platform independent. We can run Java programs in both text oriented operating system as well as the Windows operating system. Then next, the differences are based upon the code execution. In C and C++, the code execution is done in direct way, whereas in Java it is done by the JVM, that is a Java virtual machine. That means the source program what we write is converted into a byte code, and that byte code is carried to any other machine through, and it is executed by the Java virtual machine. Because of this, Java is platform independent. Next one is approach. The approach is the top-down approach in the case of C language. What does it mean is it helps to write the program in the top to bottom level, whereas in the case of C++ and Java the bottom up approach is used. What does it mean is initially we write classes and objects, and the objects consist of methods and members. So we first develop the objects and then we collect the objects to form the software or the program. So that is called as a bottom up approach. Then file generation in C and C++, the file generated is exe files, whereas in Java it is .class file. Whenever you run the Java program, whenever you compile the Java program, you first write the program in Java using the extension .java, and that program is first converted into the class file, and that class file will be converted into the next level so that they can be executed. Since it is a class file, the JVM is able to execute the class file in any machine in which it is implemented. So that is also another reason Java is platform independent. Next one is preprocessor directives. What is preprocessor directive is some process can be done in advance so that the processor can do the process in an efficient way. It is like an preliminary work done by the processor. That is called as a preprocessor. Here in C, it supports the header files like dot. We always use hash include and hash define in our program. And in case of C++ also we are having the header files as well as the define files. And in the case of Java, we are using the packages. We are importing different packages into our class program, and we can develop any projects. And keywords, C supports 32 keywords. C++ supports more keywords than C, which is around 63 keywords. And Java has 50 defined keywords. Then the differences between the how the data type and inheritance is done. The data types C and C++, it is supporting union and structure data type. Where in the case of Java it is not supported. It has an internal reason for that we see in the later classes. Inheritance, there is no inheritance in C because C doesn't support any object concept, whereas in C++ inheritance is supported, and in Java supported except for multiple inheritance. This we see in detail in the classes where we learn about the inheritance. First of all, we should just know what is inheritance. Inheritance is the process of deriving the quality from the ancestor to the descendant. That is called as an inheritance. And then overloading. In case of C, there is no overloading. Actually, what is overloading is the same function doing many jobs based upon the parameters that is passed into that. So in case of C, there is no overloading, but in C++ it supports function overloading, which is called polymorphism, and in the case of Java, operator overloading is not supported. And about the pointers, C and C++ supports the pointers where Java does not support the pointer concept. There is one important reason Java is a secured language, because when the pointers are used in the system, memory tends to point the data which may not be legal. So that in order to organize those pointers, the system has to do much of this memory management techniques to handle the pointers. So in C and C++, it has the pointer concept and it is supported and they are managed. But in the case of Java, this pointers is not allowed. And allocation, what is allocation is how to allocate the memory area for the data and the process. So in case of C, the memory allocation operators are malloc and calloc, which will helps to allocate the memory spaces. Whereas in the case of C++, we are using the new and the delete. So new is to allocate memory area and delete is to remove the memory area allocated for the particular data structure. And then in the case of Java, we are having the garbage collector. So what does this garbage collector does is, if there is any unwanted space that is being left out and it is not used by any process or data, that memory space will be managed properly in order to efficiently used by some other processes. In that case, Java does an efficient memory management technique. And exception handling, it is not supported in C, whereas it is supported in both C++ and Java. So what is exception handling is, if any error occurs in the case of the program execution, system doesn't stop because of the error. It just throw the execution saying that the error has occurred in this place, and just to throw the error and it will keep moving. And then what is templates? Templates is, since it is C++ is based on the object, it is having some template, whereas in C it is not supported. Java also does not support the templates concept. And then destructors, when actually destructor is one function which deletes the memory area used by the data or the process. In the case of C, there is no constructor neither destructor, but in the case of C++, they are having the destructor because it is having the constructor also. So constructor creates the memory space and destructor removes the memory space. And then in Java, this destructor is not supported. Multi-threading are interfaces. This is not supported in both C and C++, whereas in Java it is supported. And then actually what is multi-threading is doing many jobs at a time, concurrent tasking. Okay. And then what is database connectivity? It is not supported in C and C++ because C and C++ does not work as a front end in order to access the back end, whereas Java works in the front end and it accesses data from the back end. Normally, when you are using this database connectivity, data will be stored in the back of the system. That is, it will be stored in the database, and some languages are able to get the data from the database, process it and store it. But in the case of C and C++, that facility is not available, whereas in Java it has the database connectivity technique. And storage classes, The auto and external and the storage classes supported by C, and C++ also support the same storage classes, whereas Java does not support any storage classes because it has different way of managing the memory which is used or unused, that is done by the garbage collection. So these are all the differences between the languages C, C++ and Java, and thanks for watching.